for the beauty and dignity my father gave you. It is true. I stand at the door of your heart, day and night, even when you are not listening, even when you doubt it could be me. I am there. I await even the smallest sign of your response, even the least whispered invitation that will allow me to enter. And I want you to know that whenever you do invite me, I do come, always, and without fail. Silent and unseen I come, but with infinite power and love, bringing the many gifts of my Spirit. I come with my mercy, with my desire to forgive and heal you, and with a love for you beyond your comprehension. A love every bit as great as the love I have received from the Father. I come, longing to console you and give you strength, to lift you up and bind all your wounds. I bring you my light to dispel your darkness and all your doubts. I come with my power that I might carry you and all your burdens with my
At 87, Pope Francis prepares for his longest trip, covering 30,000 kilometers in 12 days. From September 2 to 13, he will visit Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste, and Singapore, marking his 45th international trip. Starting in Indonesia, a predominantly Muslim country, he will proceed to Papua New Guinea, the farthest continent from Rome he has yet to visit. This will be his first visit to Timor-Leste, the youngest Catholic country since 2002. His trip's culmination will be in Singapore, where he will meet leaders of different religions. Despite health issues forcing changes to trips to Africa and the Dubai Climate Summit, when he completes this journey, he will have visited over 65 countries, strengthening global relationships. Shalom World News brings you the live coverage of the Apostolic journey to Southeast Asia and Oceania, September 2 to 13. Stay tuned. Following Papua New Guinea, Pope Francis will visit Timor-Leste until September 11. The visit's logo shows Pope Francis blessing with a raised hand against a globe from which a map of Timor-Leste emerges. The globe emphasizes the global dimension of the visit, with Timor-Leste's map in the foreground representing the local focus of the trip. The motto for the visit, "May your faith be your culture," encourages the Timorese to integrate their faith with their cultural traditions. This message highlights the value of enculturation, urging the faithful to live out their beliefs in harmony with their rich cultural heritage. The Vatican describes the logo as a symbol of the Pope's blessing and the protection he brings to the Timorese during his journey. Shalom World News brings you the live coverage of the Apostolic journey to Timor-Leste, September 9 to 11. Stay tuned. As part of the Apostolic journey to Asia and Oceania, Pope Francis will visit Papua New Guinea from September 6 to 9. The official logo for this visit prominently features a cross, designed with colors that evoke the stunning sunrises and sunsets of Papua New Guinea. Adorning the cross is a bird of paradise, a symbol of the country, while the central theme of the logo is the motto, "Teach us to pray," inspired by the disciples' request to Jesus in Luke 11:1. Designed by Father Tomas Ravoli of the Liturgical Codipedical Institute in Goroko, Eastern Highlands, the logo and motto serve to emphasize the spiritual significance of the Pope's visit, moving beyond a mere tour to deliver a message of faith and prayer to the people of Papua New Guinea. Shalom World News brings you the live coverage of the Apostolic journey to Papua New Guinea, September 6th to 9th. Stay tuned. Papua New Guinea, an island nation in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, gained independence from Australia in 1975. Home to over 11 million people, predominantly Melanesian, it boasts over 800 languages, making it one of the most linguistically diverse countries. English, Tok Pesan, and Harimotu are the official languages. Christianity is the predominant religion, with 95.6% identifying as Christians according to the 2011 census. The people rely on agriculture, hunting, and fishing, and their lives revolve around extended families. Rich village cultures are prominent throughout the nation. The Holy Father's 3 days visit holds significance not only for the spiritual community, but also for the nation's global image. Shalom World News brings you the live coverage of the Apostolic journey to Papua New Guinea, September 6 through 9. Stay tuned. Timor-Leste, also known as East Timor, is the youngest Catholic country in the world. Located in Southeast Asia, it was a Portuguese colony until 1975. After declaring independence, it faced a brutal invasion and occupation by Indonesia. The Catholic Church played a significant role in supporting the struggle for independence, leading to a UN-backed referendum in 1999 and full sovereignty on May 20, 2002. With over 95% of its population being Catholic, the Church remains central to the nation's identity. Bishop Carlos Ximenes Bello and Jose Ramos Horta, key figures in the independence movement, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1996.
Those of you who are watching right now, you're already seeing the images coming to us live from Port Moresby of Pope Francis' arrival to the meeting place where he will greet all the authorities, the representatives of civil society, and the diplomatic corps present in Port Moresby. Pope Francis right now is being welcomed there at the entrance to the APEC house there, the name of the center where he will be meeting with the authorities and where they will be welcoming him to the nation, as this is his first stop, his first event per se of his agenda there in Papua New Guinea for this 3-day visit. We're going to have images coming here in just a moment from Port Moresby, coming back to us. You're seeing there the various logos of the journey, of the places he's visiting on this 45th Apostolic journey. And now we see, after that initial welcome Pope Francis received there, in front of the building, there were members of the Motu Koitabu tribe of the central province of the capital of Port Moresby, welcoming the Pope in traditional dress and with dance and instruments there. Pope Francis is being brought there into a wheelchair to the meeting hall. And this building goes back to, it was built for the meeting of Asian leaders back in 2018 when Papua New Guinea hosted a summit there. A new building that's then been converted after this APEC meeting into a conference center, as well as space for museums and also exhibitions. It's also one of the main conference and meeting centers in the capital there, and has the space necessary to welcome all the guests who are there to welcome Pope Francis. And we see Pope Francis being taken there to the main area, and just next to him is the Governor General. Just behind him there, a moment ago, we saw the Governor General there of Papua New Guinea. He's Sir Bob Dadai. And just before arriving here at the conference center, Pope Francis met with the Governor General of Papua New Guinea at the government house, where he was officially met in a private meeting, one-on-one, and met also with Sir Bob Dadai's family and greeted them, and then came down by car just about 3.5 kilometers, about 2 miles away to this conference center. And we saw just a moment ago both Pope Francis and the Governor General seated, ready for this first
Your
major
Holiness,
event.
Pope Francis, His Excellency Governor General, members of Parliament,
And here we
leaders
are.
of Pacific Island countries, leaders of the Catholic Church, diplomatic corps, representatives from business, community, civil society, distinguished invited guests. I am honored to welcome you all this morning to this historic occasion to witness and be part of the address of His Holiness Pope Francis to the people of Papua New Guinea and the Pacific. We look forward to hearing words of inspiration, wisdom, and guidance today, and for the next few days that His Holy Father will be gracing our shores. Ladies and gentlemen, without delay, I would like to invite His Excellency Sir Bob Dadai to make his opening welcome remarks.
Now we're going to hear the opening welcome of the Governor General of Papua New Guinea, Sir Bob Dadai.
Your Holiness, Pope Francis, the delegation from Vatican, the leaders of the South Pacific who are here, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and people of Papua New Guinea, I welcome His Holiness Pope Francis to this beautiful country. Your presence here is a testament to the enduring spirit of faith that brings us together across oceans and continents. And I am honored to receive you today. As you know, the first Catholic missionaries were the Marists. They arrived in 1845 and settled in the beautiful woodland and rocky islands. Some 139 years later, having fully established the seat of the Catholic faith, your predecessor, the Holy Father, Pope John Paul II, visited our country in 1984 and again in 1995. This year is the 179th year of the presence of the Catholic Church in Papua New Guinea, and you are here with us. As a country, we are very grateful. Your Holiness, The Catholic Church is among the key development partners of the government in services delivery in the country. Our government recognizes the strong contributions of the Church in supporting children communities, future church leaders across education, health, and spiritual care. We appreciate the global leadership in advocacy that the Vatican continues to provide on the global humanitarian issues like war, human rights, gender issues, climate change, health, and education. Your Holiness, life is a right to human beings. As
we were hearing the Governor General there, Papua New Guinea. There have been a few technical issues here with the audio going in and out there. Our television viewers, or those of you watching on demand here later, are seeing these images coming to you live from Papua New Guinea. The audio there is temporarily muted. There have been a few tech issues here, as you can see.
We want to acknowledge the role of women emphasized on the need for protection. Our female is not just a mere gender, but a special gift from God to bear a nation. And like Mother Nature, she keeps and sustains humanity. Your Holiness, in a world of greed and turmoil, your voice will be better heard by the world over to love and respect the rights of women in a free world. We are happy to convey that the Catholic Church has been very active in advocating against violence and human rights abuse in the country. We also recognize the physical and the spiritual care that the Church continues to give to those that are being abused, neglected, or rejected by families and communities. Life of any country, there are cases of violence too in Papua New Guinea. And in your presence, we want to remind our citizens to observe the moral values and ethical principles that defines us as Christians, and recommit to love and peaceful existence in our society. Your Holiness, climate change is real. The rise in the sea level is affecting the lives of our people in the remote islands of Papua New Guinea and across the Pacific. We appreciate the work of the Catholic missionaries and those from the Christian faith who continue to serve those that are affected by climate change. The experience across the Pacific is that islands are sinking. People are affected and displaced. We seek your prayers and support for global action and advocacy on climate change. We want the world to know that there is no more time to discuss. What the world needs is commitment for action. Your Holiness, we also want to thank you for the work of the Church to take the health and education services to the remotest places in Papua New Guinea. Our inspiration is the educated life service of missionaries of Catholic Church across the length and breadth of this beautiful country. This is truly an embodiment of enduring love and compassion of God for humanity. Our government is intensifying efforts in the existing partnership through funding support, institutional alignment, and other state-church collaboration arrangements. As a government, we continue to fund churches-run institutions. We truly value this partnership and affirm support to the work of the Catholic Church and other Christian churches in the country. As you bless our land with your presence, we are filled with profound gratitude and humility, as can be seen through the magnitude of pilgrimage to the city, just to get a glimpse of your holiness. We know that your visit will leave an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of our citizens. We pray that the seeds of faith, hope, and love that you sow, they will bear fruit for generations to come. Please pray for Papua New Guinea, its democracy, its leadership, and pray for people to turn to God at a time when there is rise of atheism in the world. May you also pray for our fellow brothers and sisters in the Pacific. Some of their leaders are present here today with us. We thank you for choosing to visit Papua New Guinea and wish you the blessings of peace and comfort and hope that you will enjoy the warm, gracious hospitality of your church, the government, and people of Papua New Guinea. God bless you, and God bless Papua New Guinea. Thank you very much.
It is now my honor to invite His Holiness Pope Francis to give his address to the country.
For those of you just tuning in, we're broadcasting live the meeting with the authorities and representatives of civil society and the diplomatic corps in Papua New Guinea. Pope Francis is about to give his own address following that of the Governor General.
Signor Primo Ministro, distinti rappresentanti della società civile,
Excellency, Mr. Governor General, Mr. Prime Minister, distinguished representatives of civil society, esteemed ambassadors.
I'm very pleased to be with you today and to visit Papua New Guinea. I thank the Governor General for his cordial words of welcome and all of you for your warm reception. I extend my greetings to the people of the country, wishing them peace and prosperity. And I also express my gratitude to the authorities for helping the Church in a spirit of mutual cooperation and for the benefit
Nella vostra patria un
in your
arcipelago con
homeland,
centinaia
an
di
archipelago
isole
with
si
hundreds of
parlano
islands,
più
more than
di 800 lingue
800 languages are spoken,
in corrispondenza ad
corresponding to
altrettanti
just as
gruppi
many
etnici.
ethnic groups.
Questo evidenzia
This points
una
to an extraordinary cultural
ricchezza
richness.
culturale e umana. E vi
I
confesso
must
che
confess,
si tratta di un
this
aspetto che mi
greatly
affascina.
fascinates
Mi
me,
affascina molto,
also
anche sul piano
on a spiritual
spirituale,
level,
perché immagino
because I
che
imagine
questa
that
enorme
this
varietà
enormous
sia
variety
una
is a
sfida
challenge
per lo Spirito
to the Holy
Santo
Spirit,
che
who
crea
creates harmony
l'armonia
amid
delle differenze.
differences.
Il vostro
Your
paese,
country,
voi,
besides
oltre
consisting
che di isole
of
e degli
islands and
fiumi, è ricco
languages,
anche
is
delle
also
risorse
rich
della
in
terra
natural
e delle
resources.
acque. Questi beni
These
sono
goods are
destinati da
destined
Dio
by God for the
all'intera
entire
collettività,
community,
all'intera
even if outside
collettività. E anche se per
even
loro
if
lo
outside
sfruttamento
experts
è
and large
necessario coinvolgere
international
più vaste
companies
competenze
must be
e
involved
grandi
in
imprese
the harnessing of
internazionali.
these resources.
È giusto
It is only
che nella
right that the needs
distribuzione
of
dei
local
proventi
people
e
are given due
nell'impiego della
consideration
manodopera
when distributing the proceeds and employing workers in order to improve their living
in modo
conditions.
da produrre un effettivo miglioramento delle loro condizioni di vita. Questa ricchezza
These environmental and cultural treasures represent at the same time a great responsibility because they require everyone, civil authorities and all citizens, to promote initiatives that develop natural and human resources in a sustainable and equitable manner, a manner that provides the well-being of all, excluding nobody through concrete programs, international cooperation, mutual respect, and agreements beneficial to all parties. A necessary condition for such lasting result is the stability of institutions, which is fostered by agreement on certain essential points amidst different concepts and sensibilities present in society. Indeed, increasing institutional stability and building consensus on fundamental choices is a prerequisite for integral and fair development. It also requires a long-term vision and a climate of cooperation among all, even if there is a distinction of roles and differences of opinion. It is my particular hope that tribal violence will come to an end, for it causes many victims, prevents people from living in peace and hinders development. I appeal, therefore, to everyone's sense of responsibility to stop the spiral of violence and instead resolutely embark on the path that leads to fruitful cooperation for the benefit of all the people of the country. Indeed, the aforementioned attitudes can create the conditions in which the question of the status of Bougainville Island can also find a definitive solution while avoiding the rekindling of recent tensions. By bolstering agreement on the fundamental elements of civil society, together with the willingness of each person to sacrifice something from his or her point of view for the benefit of all, the necessary forces can be utilized to improve infrastructure, address the health and educational needs of the population, and increase opportunities for dignified work. Sometimes we forget that human beings need more than just the basic necessities of life. They also need great hope in their hearts. This allows them to live fully, gives them zest and courage to undertake wide-ranging projects, and enables them to lift their gaze upward towards vast horizons. An abundance of material goods is not enough to give birth to a life-giving, serene, hard-working and joyful society, which without a broader spiritual outlook turns in on itself and leads to a dryness of heart. As a result, society loses its weight and forgets the correct hierarchy of values. Moreover, the dryness takes away society's drive to move forward, and as happens in some opulent societies, blocks its progress to the extent that it loses hope in the future and can no longer find reason to pass on life and faith to future generations. That is why it is necessary to direct the Spirit towards greater realities. Our attitudes and action must be sustained by an inner strength which shelters them from the risk of being corrupted or of losing the ability to recognize the value of work and the need to carry it out with dedication and devotion.
E di eseguirlo con dedizione e costanza.
Spiritual values greatly influence the building of the earthly city and all temporal realities. In other words, these values infuse a soul and inspire and strengthen
e irrobustiscono ogni progetto. Lo ricordano anche il logo e il motto di questa mia visita in Papua Nuova Guinea. Il motto dice tutto con una sola parola: pray. Pregare. Forse qualcuno troppo osservante del politicamente corretto potrà stupirsi di questa scelta, ma in realtà si sbaglia, perché un popolo che prega ha un futuro, attingendo forza, speranza dall'alto. È anche l'emblema dell'uccello del paradiso nel logo del viaggio è simbolo di libertà, di quella libertà che niente e nessuno può soffocare perché è interiore ed è custodita da Dio che è amore e vuole che i suoi figli siano liberi. Per tutti coloro che si professano cristiani, la grande maggioranza del vostro popolo, auspico vivamente che la fede non si riduca mai all'osservanza di riti e precetti, ma che consista nell'amore.
For those who profess to be Christians, the vast majority of your people, I fervently hope that faith will never be reduced just to the observance of rituals and precepts, and may it be marked instead by love of Jesus Christ and following him as a disciple. And in this way, faith can become a lived culture, inspiring minds and actions, and becoming a beacon of light that illuminates the path forward. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've come here to encourage the Catholic faithful to continue their journey and to confirm them in their profession of faith. I've come to rejoice with them in the progress they're making and to share their difficulties. I'm here, as St. Paul would say, as a worker with you for your joy. And I commend the Christian communities for the works of charity they're carrying out in the country. I also urge them always to... Okay. Now the audio there has temporarily dropped on us here. We should have it back in a moment. You're hearing Pope Francis giving his address there in his meeting with the authorities there in Papua New Guinea and representatives of civil society, as well as members of the diplomatic corps and some leaders of the Asia-Pacific who are present. There are around 300 present there for this meeting.
Per garantire che la società si sviluppi in onestà, in giustizia, in armonia e solidarietà. Suo esempio, insieme a quelli del
Francis, continuing in his talk, made the example of the saints and all the missionaries who proclaim the gospel in Papua New Guinea give you strength and hope. And our audio there, fortunately, has slipped away from us, but we hope to have it back. For those of you who are just joining us, we have a broadcast coming to you from Port Moresby here, Pope Francis, on the second leg of his four-country visit to the Asia and Oceania. This his 45th Apostolic journey outside Italy. And before arriving in Papua, Pope Francis was in Indonesia, where he received a very warm welcome and met with the people there, the leaders of the country, representatives of the Muslim community and the Catholic communities there. And following his various visits there in Indonesia, he proceeded on to his next stop, heading east to Papua New Guinea, where he arrived on Friday evening, and today, Saturday morning, his first appointment is with the leaders of the country and the representatives of civil society. And we're hoping the audio comes back here. And we need to nourish every culture and make the kingdom of God grow. And cultures need to be evangelized. Pope Francis, and may this kingdom of God be fully welcomed in this land, so that all peoples of Papua New Guinea, with the variety of traditions, may live together in harmony and offer the world an example of fraternity. Thank you very much. So hearing Pope Francis in his address there, which later on you'll be able to find on VaticanNews.va and Vatican.va, the full text of Pope Francis' address and coverage, and as well as of the welcome he's received from the leaders of Papua New Guinea and their kind words. You can find that
Your
reporting.
Holiness, thank you. Thank you, Tomas. Thank you. Thank you, Padaheria Ayakoy. On behalf of those who are here present this morning and the thousands of Papua New Guineans who are not able to join us this morning here, and further countless people from the region and the world out there, thank you for your words of encouragement, inspiration, and wisdom to everyone this morning. Thank you, Your Holiness. I'll invite everyone to remain seated. His Holiness will have an opportunity to meet with the leaders of the region in a separate adjoining room. So I'd like to encourage us all to remain seated whilst that's happening. Thank you.
And we just heard that announcement coming from the conference center there, where we've just seen and heard there the Governor General of Papua New Guinea, Sir Bob Dadai, and Pope Francis giving their addresses. Very warm welcome Pope Francis has received, and very warm words from the Governor General and Pope Francis as well, and thanking them for their hospitality, their wonderful richness and diversity. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this broadcast. Full coverage on VaticanNews.va and the text on Vatican.va. Thanks to our partner broadcasters, EWTN Television, Channel in English, Catholic Faith Network in America, Shalom Television India, and Sunday Shalom, Shalom World Television, Catholic Television, and Radio Maria, Papua New Guinea, and Luminous Radio India. Thank you all for joining us here. We'll be back on the air again with coverage of all the major events of this journey, or the events that are being broadcast, that is, so be sure to join us. Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Prime Minister of Vanuatu and his wife.
Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and Governor of New Ireland. Please, now Governor for the city, Honorable Moresby.
May filter okay. One blue one. That's 32.
a land of deep Catholic heritage, where faith's enduring strength is vividly demonstrated in every corner of this nation, rich